All right. Hello, friends. It's really good to see all of you. I'm sorry that took a little bit. I just want to make sure that we're restating those expectations that we are only commenting when Miss Cat says that we are commenting. We are always kind and respectful with our comments. And in the future, when you are answering questions with your comments, please always include your name so I know it's you. So just to remind you of those rules, we are going to be kind and respectful. We are going to stay on topic and comment when we are asked to comment, and we are going to always include our name. For those of you who just joined, okay, so with that being said, I know that you are all very excited to see each other and, of course, want to comment and say hello. So I am going to give you exactly 2 minutes, that's it, to please say your name, say your class, and please share any other observations that you made about light yesterday. So now you make comments specifically with your name, with your class, and with anything you observed yesterday just for the next 2 minutes. And of course, you'll remember I am on a 30-second delay, so I am going to be a little bit behind your comments. All right. Thank you so much. Great job, everybody, following those directions. That shows that we can keep using this resource. Shane 5A. Hi, Shane 5A. Did you observe anything yesterday? Hello, Miss Cat. It's Matthew. Hello, Matthew. Please say your class so everyone knows. TT, please say your class so everyone knows. Thank you, Siani. Hello, TJ from 4A. Hello, Steph from 3A. Hi, McKenna from 4B. Anyone who observed anything yesterday, this is the time to please share that because we will be getting ready for our conclusions today. Anoki 3B, I cannot see much in the dark. Thank you, Anoki, for sharing that. It's important to breathe. Philip, please stay on topic. That was not what we were studying yesterday. And 3B, I'm sorry you have an upset stomach. I had an upset stomach a couple days ago. Drink hot water with lemon and a little bit of ginger. That's what I've been doing. Hello, Sassy 3C and Luna 3B. Hello, Jacob and Joshua. Light helps us see. Wonderful. Sienna 3C, objects are absorbed when there is light. Interesting. Jonathan 4B. Hello, Ananda 3A. Hello, Gregory 5A. Okay, I'm going to give us just 30 more seconds to continue these comments before we begin. Veronica, the closer to the light, the brighter. Ooh, thank you for sharing that. No one has said that yet, Veronica. I noticed that the sun on one object, half of it was shining in the sun and half of it was in the dark. Ooh, wonderful. Your eyes hurt, Phil. That is slightly relevant. Kaisuke, you notice that the color of the 100-year coin I got is darker as the light got darker. Wonderful. And thank you for specifically sharing the object that you were observing. That really helps paint a picture with words and for me to understand what you're seeing. When things are in the dark and when the light, you can see brighter. Yes, thank you, Blaze, for articulating that. And I love how you're noticing that it's brighter and you can see more details. Today we will be discussing why you can see more details. Hello, Colin. Hello, Matthew. Hello, Ananda. There's different colors when it's darker than when it's lighter. Thank you, Gabby. Stronger light, stronger shadow. Ooh, nobody has said that. Yeah, that is a very interesting observation. For those of you who are forgetting, please always include your name because I do not know all of your usernames and I do not know the names of all of your parents, unfortunately. But I'm working on it. It's me, Zach 4A, and you need a flashlight. Wonderful. The more the light there is, the better the colors you can see. Wonderful. So I'm noticing that the comments are starting to slow down. So let's pause our comments for right now so we can move on. I will type that so you can see it in real time. Please. Great. Thank you. Please pause your comments. Boop. Okay, and now we are going to stop saying hello to each other for right now because we had plenty of time to do that at the beginning of class. That's also why it's important to come on time /5 minutes early because I will always let you say hi to each other 5 minutes before the start of class. Light forms color. Things are more vivid when light is shining on something. Sorry, I'm just getting these now. Okay, wonderful. So now I would like you to add several words to your glossary. Here is our word wall. First, I would like you to add the definition of light energy. The definition of light energy is boop, the bright form of energy given off by something that makes it possible to see. So please take some time right now, about 2 minutes, to turn into your glossary and add the term light energy. While you add that definition, you could be thinking, at what times is there more light energy? At what times is there less light energy? How does that affect the colors we are able to perceive and the detail we are able to see? You may let me know in the comments when you are finished copying down this definition so I know when to move on. The bright form of energy given off by something that makes it possible to see. Interesting. So your glossary is in the back of your science notebook. If you're using your own notebook right now, I would make a brand new glossary. So let me see if I can do this with 2 hands. I believe we put our glossary on page 171. There we go. So your glossary should look like this and have all of the terms that we have already copied down. So please turn to the back of your science notebook and copy down the definition of light energy. I will give you 1 more minute. I'm seeing some of you are done. Wonderful. So what I'm actually going to do, because some of us have finished, I'm going to put this definition into the comment section, but please do not comment so that friends who still need to copy it down from the comment section still have that resource. So, light energy is the bright form of energy given off by something that makes it possible to see. Okay, next, you are going to add the definition for reflect. So reflect means to bend or throw back, and then in parentheses you can write waves of light, sound, or heat. All of those forms of energy can be reflected. So now I'm going to give you just 1 minute since it's pretty short, and if you finish early, you can add a picture. The definition of reflect. So if you already know anything about reflections, you can add that picture into your glossary to support your learning. And then please let me know when you are done copying down the definition for the word reflect so we can move on. Yes, I know that when we write it, I see a 30. Yes, there is a 30-second lag. Otherwise, I would be pausing and going and pausing and going. So you are seeing me 30 seconds in the past. With that being said, I'm going to look into other ways that I can make the lag a little bit less dramatic. Okay, so I'm going to put this into the comment section because I noticed that some of us are finishing up. So reflect means to bend or throw back. Throw back, specifically waves of light. Okay, so now that we are done with that, I'm sorry, I just forgot. If you are in 5th grade, I would like you to also very quickly copy down the definition of photon. A photon is the subatomic particles that light is composed of. So you could please write photon, and you can write the particles light is made of. I need you to please, actually, I will type that down very quickly. photon, the particles light is made of, and photons are not matter, they are energy. So they do not have mass and they do not take up space. Okay, 5th graders will need to use the word photon in their conclusions today. 3rd and 4th graders are welcome but not required to use those words in their conclusions today. All right, so now I would like everyone to please share a claim that would be possible to answer the question from yesterday. If we look back into our book, let me see. I can see that our question from yesterday was, when can objects be observed? So please share your claim in the comments section, and I will let you know what sounds good and how it can improve. You may also at this time, I don't want to show you mine, write the word conclusion, underline it with a colon, and then please write the word claim with a colon so that we are organizing our conclusions. And I will give us just 2 minutes to share our claims before we move on to our evidence. No worries for being late. Just try your best. Oh, Tony, I am sorry you are feeling sick. All right, so who is going to be brave and share their claim first? Ooh, wonderful. So you could write, in conclusion, objects are more visible in light. That is a statement that you can prove is true. Objects can be observed when... Thank you, Ivy, for remembering to include your name. I will share my claim in about a minute. Let me set a timer so I don't forget. Set a timer for a minute.
Okay, 1 minute and counting.
Objects can be observed when there is just enough light. Interesting. What do you mean by just enough light, Tava? Objects can be observed when light is shining or reflecting. You're on the right track, Gregory. If it's shining, then it is reflecting automatically. That is why we can see. So you can say, instead of or, you can say and. Objects can be seen when there is enough light to see the objects, Nicole. Perfect. Objects are more visible in light. Great. All of these claims are wonderful. Objects can be observed when there is light. Objects can be seen when there is light. Awesome. Ooh, Blaze, what did you write? Objects can be observed when there is light, and you can see the colors of the object and can see all of the details. When light is hitting an object, it causes shadows at different angles. Ooh, I like that claim. I would get rid of the part about shadows because that will be a separate claim that we will be writing the second part of this week. All right, so wonderful. If you have all finished writing your claim, now I'm going to share mine. I wrote, objects can be observed when they are fully or partially illuminated by a light source. So please record your claim into your notebook, and now we will start discussing our evidence. Our evidence, we're saying, I know this because. So actually, let me take some time right now to look back in my data from yesterday so I remember specifically what I observed. Ooh. So for me, I remember that first, I observed some yellow flowers with green stems in partial light. So I went in and labeled everything, and then I even just made a note up here that the colors appeared muted/darker than when they were in full sunlight. And when I was coloring with my pencil, I made sure that I had colored really lightly so I can tell that those colors were muted. And let me see, what did I observe second? So this I was able to complete after our class because I really wanted to take my time. So then I observed some purple flowers, and I observed whatever plants this is with these leaves, and I noticed that the colors were significantly brighter when the sun was not covered by a cloud and they are under direct sunlight. And I made some notes up here. The colors appear much brighter and more vibrant when the sun is shining on them. Then I went into my bathroom because that is the darkest place in my house. I made sure that there was absolutely no light coming in. I brought in Matilda the basil plant, and I could not see Matilda the basil plant. So I just made a note up here that when a room is dark, I cannot see the objects around me, and I labeled basil plant, even though you cannot see it because the room was completely dark. I'm going to give you 2 minutes right now to share anything else that you observed. And then if you are finished sharing what you observed, you can start writing the evidence part of your conclusion. So remember, it starts with I know this because. If you are in 3rd grade, you are expected to compare and contrast at least 2 observations. For example, I want you to compare and contrast something that was in the bright light versus the dark, or something that was in bright light versus a medium amount of light. If you are in 4th or 5th grade, you are expected to compare and contrast at least 3 different observations. So you can structure your evidence by, first I observed something that was in bright light and it looked like this. Then I observed something with a medium amount of light that was partially in shadow. It looks like this. Last, I took my basil plant Matilda, I brought it into my bathroom, I turned off all of the lights, even though Matilda was right in front of me. I could not see her at all. Yes, Jonathan, the lag will continue to go. I'm going to look into more specifically, though. I think I can reduce the video quality and the actual picture quality so that you can observe me in more real time for tomorrow, if that is something that you want. Can we use our pictures? Yes. So right now you should be referring to your data from yesterday, or your pictures that you took yesterday. I'm really glad that you did that extension activity. And you could be talking about those specific observations in your evidence. So actually, while you continue to share your evidence, I am going to give you 10 minutes to write that right now. So if you're not commenting specifically what you observed yesterday, I want you to now take 10 minutes to start working on your evidence in your notebook. So let me see. Set a timer for 10 minutes.
I can't set the timer for a specific time. Should I set an alarm instead?
Yes. Set an alarm for 10 minutes.
Okay, I set your alarm.
Well, thank you, Chet. I conclude that light can be seen when photons are reflecting into our eyes. Beautiful. So I'm glad that you're already able to infer how we will be using the word reflect today. If the light is traveling in a straight line from its light source and hitting an object, it bounces off of that object or reflects off of that object into our eyes so we can see it. If there's more light energy, we can see it better. If there is less light energy, we cannot see it as well. What about your plants in the laboratory? Thank you for your concern. I've been wondering that. They actually can survive a couple months, but I think I might be bringing them home. If you can't see me, I don't know what's happening. What are you confused about? I know this because of foreshadowing. That does not make sense to me. You would need to explain that more. You are done with all of your evidence? Wonderful. So if you're done with all of your evidence, I want you to please reread it and see if you can add any more details so you are painting a picture with words. Again, in 3rd grade, you can be comparing and contrasting at least 2 things to receive a 3, at least 3 observations to receive a 3 if you are in 4th or 5th grade. And if you're really impressing me with your level of detail that you will send to me at the end of the week, okay, please stop with a thumbs up. When you send it to me at the end of the week, if you're really impressing me with your level of detail, maybe you're making comparisons to describe a specific color that you observe, or maybe you're talking about the specific details that you were able to see in limited light versus a lot of lights, that would get you to a 3.5. I saw my cat's eyes as they shifted away from the window. Ooh, that's a really interesting observation, Phil. So did you notice anything about the colors when they were shifted towards the window and had more light energy reflecting off of them versus when they were turned away from the window and had less light energy reflecting off of them? Wonderful. Thank you for letting me know you're done. My timer that I had set for 10 minutes, oh my goodness, did not go. So I'm just going to do 5 more. In conclusion, I observed when the flower was in the light, it had light energy. When the flower was in the bathroom with the light off, there was no light energy. Wonderful, Sassy. So, Sassy, I love what you're saying and that you're using the word light energy. When you're describing why something happens, though, that's going to go into the reasoning part of your conclusion, not your claim. Your claim should be one short sentence that you are able to prove is true. So, you could reframe that to say instead, in conclusion, when I observed the flowers observed in bright light are more visible. Flowers observed in limited light are less visible. Wonderful, and I love that we're already thinking about transparent objects. We will go specifically into transparent objects, translucent objects, and how light interacts with those mediums next week. So for this week, please don't worry too much about objects that are transparent. We are focusing on objects that are opaque. That means light cannot pass through them, and all of the light is reflecting off of it into our eyes, and then our eyes is perceiving that light energy as the image in front of us. So the plant was bright through glass because glass is a transparent object, so none of the light energy was being reflected and passed through straight towards the plant. And then that would be related to today's lesson and not be going into next week's lesson. Okay, if you are confused, please specifically tell me what you are confused about. Nia 4B. So we are writing our claim and our evidence right now. And I will give you 3 more minutes. Yep, 2 minutes, 52 seconds to finish up writing your evidence. If you do not finish in 2.5 minutes, don't worry. You can always go back to the video after the entire lesson, and then you can just leave a section and then still discuss the reasoning with us. If we are done, what do you do? So if you are done, actually, you could please add more pictures or more diagrams into your evidence, or look for additional evidence and make more connections. So actually, for example, you can add my observation about Matilda right now. I am observing that she has more of a subdued, darker green color to her beautiful leaves, but if I shine a light on it, you can see that green, see right there? That green color becomes significantly more vibrant, and suddenly you can see the veins in her leaves even from that video camera, right? Here you cannot really see all the veins, the color is darker. Here I'm directly shining this flashlight on Matilda, so that green color appears brighter. Remember, your evidence is talking about your observations without talking about why. So if you think you are done, please push yourself to add even more detail about things that you have observed around your house, or you can use this example that I just provided you with. So you have 1.5 minutes, so if you think you're done, that is enough time to add at least one more sentence about another observation. Let me see. I could do the same thing with my feelings jar. If I shine my flashlight on all of those colors, you can see them significantly better. Here, let me do it from that angle. Now you can see the colors of all my color pencils much better. So if I was coloring, I would want the light to be all the way on so that I can see the difference between, for example, these three different shades of yellow. If they were in the dark, maybe you couldn't tell the difference. So maybe you want to add that detail in your evidence. And if the light is shining on them and they're more clearly illuminated, then you can easily tell that one is a little bit greener, one is a little more mac and cheesy, and one is more of your true sunshiny yellow. Wonderful. Thank you, Niara from 3A. That's a really nice observation, actually. If something is in half shadow, that's another great connection, because then you know that it's the same color normally. So, for example, this surface was in half shadow yesterday, and I was observing that. And then half of it looked a dark brown, and then half of it looked a light brown. Gregory. Wonderful. So, Gregory, you said they are more vibrant in light. Please specifically tell me what they means in as much detail as possible so I know what you were able to observe. And again, if you are in 4th grade, please compare and contrast at least 3 different observations. So I would choose one in full light, one in partial light, and one in 0 light. For 3rd grade, to get a 3, you only need to compare and contrast 2 observations. With that being said, let's talk about why. So right now, you can stop your comments about your evidence, and I want everyone to make a section for their reasoning. If you are ready, we know we start reasoning with I know this because, or this happens because, this happens because, and then you are going to explain what is happening using the words light, energy, and reflect if you are in 3rd, 4th, and 5th grade, and then please add the word photons if you are in 5th grade, and push yourself to think about those subatomic massless particles that are traveling from the sun. So if I was going to start my reasoning, I would talk about how first all of the light from the sun, if you're observing direct sunlight, is created in the sun, and then all of that light travels in a straight line down to Earth, and it takes actually 8 minutes for all of that light to travel before it hits an object. Once light hits that object, whether it's from the sun or whether it's from my flashlight, then that light is going to reflect off of that object back into my eyes. So you can kind of imagine this invisible path of the light going wee, wee. Think of it like if a photon is traveling from the sun, it's kind of like extreme skydiving for that photon. It's like for 8 minutes falling down, right? Well, it's at a constant speed though, so it actually wouldn't notice the difference. It would be like how we're spinning around Earth. Anyway, sorry, I'm getting off topic. But anyway, your reasoning should start to describe, when there is more light energy shining onto an object, then there is more light energy reflecting off of that object going into my eyes, so the colors appear brighter. I can see more of the color of that object because there's more energy. If there is less light energy, so for example, right now versus right now, because it is a cloudy day, there is less light energy hitting an object. Less light energy is therefore being transferred and reflecting off of that object to my eyes, so I am seeing less of the color and therefore cannot see as much detail. If I am in complete darkness or very limited darkness, for example, if I am exploring in an underwater cave and my headlamp is off, then there's no light energy at all being emitted. I don't know if any of you have ever been in complete darkness where you literally cannot see your hand in front of your face, but if you're in complete darkness, there is no light energy hitting an object, so there is no light energy reflecting off of that object, and as a result, we cannot see anything. So then, let's see, I remember Preston, you said yesterday when you brought a plant, I think you said, into your bathroom that it turned brown, so that's because there's a little bit of light energy hitting that plant, but not enough that the green is being reflected, and there's so little light being reflected that you are going to perceive it as brown. So please share your reasoning in the comment section. Oh my goodness, I'm sorry, I wasn't looking at it for a while. I'm going to hide some users. No hard feelings though, because we are going to stay on topic, and please do not give directions to children. That is my job. That makes sense. Thank you. I'm glad that makes sense. Please let me know if you are confused or if things are not making sense. Okay, so friends, please remember again to keep your comments kind. That enables us to all use this resource. Wonderful. So if you think you are done with your reasoning, do you mean? Then to get a 4, please make a connection to impress me. So remember, to get a 4, you need to say something that Miss Cat had not thought of herself. A 4 is like, a 4 means you are teaching the teacher so I can teach it better next time. So if you have now finished your claim, If you now have lots of detail in your evidence, comparing and contrasting 2 or 3 or even 4 if you want to push yourself, different observations, being very specific about what you saw. If you are finished with your reasoning, using all the words that I have here on the word wall, then please push yourself to make additional connections. Maybe you want to think about what it would look like if you were in outer space, or maybe you want to think about what it would look like if you were a mole living underground, and maybe what their eyes would be like if they live underground. Maybe you want to think about how bat vision is if they are mostly living in dark caves. So, all right, I saw give an example, please. So, wonderful. Thank you for emailing George's conclusion. My cat moved its green eyes when the lights were on its eyes. Wonderful. So did you notice anything about the shade of green? Because also cats have such cool details in their eyes. So the more light energy shining and reflecting off of those eyes, the more detail you're able to see and you're really able to study. And cat eyes are super cool, as are our own eyes. Ooh, that would be a fun extension. If you want to do another extension, I would recommend going into a place where there's a mirror and observing your own eyes in different levels of light, because eyes are super fun to look at. Miss Cat, can you include clouds? Ooh, that's a great connection. Absolutely, Joshua and Jacob. Because actually, if I'm looking at the clouds right now, I'm noticing that some of them are bright white. That probably means that the way the sun is hitting them, all of the light from the sun is reflecting off of those clouds back towards me. And if they appear darker, there is less light energy hitting them. So there is less light energy being reflected back to my eyes. Stephanie, please tell me what you're confused about. And you know what? I'm going to read everyone my conclusion in 2 minutes. Set an alarm for 2 minutes. Set an alarm for 2 minutes.
Set the alarm for when?
2 minutes. What do we do to start our reasoning? This happens because. Okay, and then I left myself plenty of space for my evidence because I think my evidence will take at least that much space. Even if you were in 3rd grade, your evidence should be taking up at least that much space. If you were in 4th or 5th grade, especially if you're in 5th grade, you might be wanting to add so much detail into your evidence that your reasoning is not going to start until around here, and then your entire conclusion should be about 3 pages. Cushion versus candle versus piano pedal. Wonderful. As long as those are in 3 different types of light, too, that would be really good observations. In 1 more minute, I'm going to share my conclusion that I wrote, so that you can go back and edit yours. What is that sound? I think it's a bird. I looked in my eyes and I saw my reflection. Interesting. We are going to be talking more about things that reflect also next week. And I have one of my favorite folktales to read you. I'm excited. Done with conclusion. Okay, if you think you're done, just like in class, because we're never done, please go back and make sure that you have plenty of detail. You have correctly used all of these words. And then you have made connections. Remember, if you make 1 connection that impresses me, that I hadn't thought of, you will get a 4. If you make 2 connections that impress me, you will get a 4+. If you make 3 connections that impress me, 4++. No one has gotten a 4++ yet at ICS, so maybe, I don't think so. No, I think I take that back. No one has gotten a 4+++. So you would need 4 connections to get a 4+++. Okay, wonderful. I'm seeing a lot of you are done, so now I'm going to share mine. So, I wrote, when an opaque object crosses the path of light. Oh, no, sorry. That's tomorrow. I wrote, objects can be observed when they are fully or partially illuminated by a light source. I know this because I conducted an exploration of the objects I could see in my own apartment. I compared and contrasted what objects looked like in bright light, partial light, and no light. I noticed that objects in direct sunlight looked very bright and their colors were very vibrant and easy to see. Objects covered by shadows did not appear as bright, and it was sometimes harder to tell what color they were. For example, when I looked at a flower and placed it in front of my window, the yellow and green color of the flower and stem were very vibrant, like a sunflower on a sunny day. However, when I took that same flower and brought it further away from the window, the flower fell into a shadow and the color appeared muted. When I went into my bathroom and turned off the lights, I couldn't see my basil plant at all, even though it was right in front of me. Everything just looked black. So that was just my claim with my evidence. If I was writing this in a notebook, that would probably be a page and a half because of the level of detail I included. Okay, now for my reasoning. This happens because light is a form of energy that our eyes are able to perceive as color. When light travels from a source, such as the sun or a flashlight, it reflects off objects and travels into our eyes. Objects that are fully illuminated can be seen more easily because there is more light energy bouncing off the object and therefore more light energy traveling into our eyes. This is why you would want the light to be on when you are doing something that requires you to see as much as possible, like cleaning or performing surgery. When an object is in a shadow or is illuminated by a weaker light source, like the moon, there is some but not as much light energy bouncing off of that object, which causes the colors to appear muted. This is why you might not be able to tell the difference between two similar colors in a dimly lit room, or why the green grass looks dark green at night, even though it is really bright green. When there is absolutely no light energy hitting an object, there is no light bouncing off of that object, so it cannot be seen at all. This is why cave explorers need to come prepared with headlamps, because otherwise they would not be able to see anything deep underground where no light energy can reach. That was my conclusion, and actually, this is something we have not done in class yet, but I want you to start thinking of a concluding sentence that sums everything up. So you should look back at your claim and think, ooh, how can I restate that claim? And add just a little bit more information that's now including what I said in my reasoning. So my concluding sentence at the very end of my conclusion is, in conclusion, the amount of light energy bouncing off an object is directly related to the visibility of that object. So I was able to sum everything up that I just talked about for what would be probably 4 pages in my notebook in one neat sentence. So my reader says, oh, that's the point that you were trying to prove. All right, so if you are done, if you would like feedback early before Friday, feel free to email me your conclusion today, but then everyone must, Tony, please stay on topic. Everyone must email me all of their work from this week, pictures of their notebook, by Friday. And then either tomorrow or Thursday, stay tuned for instructions about a STEM activity you may optionally do on your own. Hint, you will just need a cardboard box. So if you have cardboard boxes, thanks, Gabby. If you have a cardboard box, please do not recycle it. Please save one cardboard box. I have, let me see. Oop, oop, oop. No, this wasn't it. Hold on. I have this box that I will be using for our Secret STEM activity on Friday. You can have your own Tech Friday if you want to keep with our pattern, or Saturday or Sunday. So I'm just going to stay on for another 15 minutes. I'll finish out the hour to answer any questions. But if you are done, please feel free to sign off. But we don't have science on Thursdays. Yes, well, now you do. And we are going back to the old schedule that 5th grade used to have. And 3rd grade, you get a little bit of extra science because I know we only meet 3 times a week, but we are now meeting 4 times a week. All right, and friends, we did much better staying on topic today. I'm going through and deleting some comments right now, though, that were off topic or not 100% respectful. Please remember that we are cross grade, so if you are in 5th grade, please remember that 3rd graders are able to see your comments. Goodbye, Gabby. I will see you tomorrow at 1. Can we hand it in on Thursday? Yes. So please, just everything is due by Friday. Your claim, your question, hypothesis, data, conclusion for the 2 experiments we will do this week is due Friday. That will give me time to grade it over the weekend. At Talia 3B, did I receive her assignment via email? I don't think so, actually. Here's my work email in case. Alexander at icsnyc.org is my email. So again, you can send it early if you want feedback early, or you can feel free to perfect everything. Bye, Liv. Perfect everything and send it to me by Friday. Bye, Simone. Thanks for coming. Is there science on Friday? No. It is Tech Friday on Friday, but you will be completing your tech activity independently. It will, of course, be optional because you will need materials. You will need a box and whatever else you happen to have in your house, but tape and some black paper is good. Bye, Amara. Thanks for coming. That's okay. The lesson is over. It's been 50 minutes. Science is Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Science is Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Optional engineering activity that will allow your child to apply what they have learned this week into an optional STEM activity on Friday. It should be fun, and I know we will be stuck in our apartments and have plenty to do, so I figure most people will want to do the optional STEM activity. Bye, Georgia. Bye, Siani. Bye, Nina. Yes, DJ, you can leave. Everyone, you can leave as soon as you are done. You do not need to stay here. Goodbye, Sienna. What time is science on Thursday? 1 o'clock every day. When will we be back at school? I know that's a pressing question. We should have gotten the memo that we are going to be following the same guidelines as the Department of Education. So we are going to be out of school for a while. We are going to be gone until April 20th at a minimum, which is why it is important to have a routine. You're welcome. Thanks for saying thank you. You are more than welcome to stay. Hi, hi, Shamel. I don't know if I saw you yesterday or you didn't say your name. Bye, Tanatha Marston. Thanks for coming. Goodbye, Chloe. Bye, pal. Peace, Joshua Jacob. Goodbye, Ananda. Oh, you're welcome. Have a good day as well, TT. I hope you learned a lot. It is a long time. Yes, so please make sure that you're establishing routines at home. Oh, really quick, actually, I should include this in an email. Side note, I'm going to show you the app that I use for my morning routine, since we're here. I use this app. It's called Morning Routine. It is free. Hello? Hold on. Okay. So actually, I need to re-sign into it. So it's telling me to put in my name. I put in my name, Kat. That is okay. Time to build healthy habits. Let's go. So again, this app is called Morning Routine. You can work with a grown-up, or parents, you can work with your kids to help them establish a morning routine. So I actually use this each morning. Can you see? But you can go in and you can add different routines, and then you can say how long you'll take to do those certain things, and then you can say the time that it starts. So you can wake up at the same exact time every day, and then if you want to do something in place of your own morning meeting and you want to do yoga for 50 minutes, then you can choose that, or 50 minutes, sorry, that's excessive. If you want to do yoga for 30 minutes, you could do yoga for 30 minutes. You can meditate, you can shower, you can log something in a gratitude journal. You can start just logging in a general journal. But this is just how long is this? This is like my hour-and-a-half morning routine that I used to do before school. But if you want to make it longer, if you're waking up at, say, 8 o'clock every day, and you want to have in your routine, like, okay, first I'm going to wake up and drink water, and then I am going to get dressed, and then I'm going to have breakfast and read my encyclopedia, and then, I don't know, but you can decide what you're going to do every single day. And then what it does is it allows you to start your routine, and then you put the amount of time that you're going to do that routine, and then it lets you know when it's ready to move to the next task. And then if you use that every day, you will start falling into a routine so that you do not go crazy while you are waiting in your apartment for over a month and a half not having any school. You could put that you're going to read at certain times. To have more than one routine, you have to pay $3, and then you can have a nighttime routine as well. That includes reading, that might include math. I don't know, that is what I do. Can I show us your Velcro room now, Tava? Yes. It's only for Apple phones, Talia. I'm sorry, Talia. I am sure that there's an iOS version, though. So I would just Google routine building apps. Sorry, not for iOS, for the other one. I would Google routine building apps, and then you're in 5th grade, Talia, so you can do it independently, but you can figure out, okay, like, what is my schedule going to be like every single day that I am staying in my home. Ashton, please develop healthy routines. And then you can make sure that you're reading every single day, and then if there's things that you want to work on, actually. So one of the things that I'm practicing now for 5 minutes a day is my handstands. I figure if we're here for a month and a half, I can do handstands by the end of it. So now in my routines, I'm like, okay, I'm going to practice handstands for 5 minutes every day. Or you might want to practice, I'm also practicing juggling 5 balls for 5 minutes every day. Hey, darling, can I show the children your Velcro apartment? Or your Velcro room?
Sure.
Cool. All right, guys.
Where is my...
So, for those of you who do not know, oh my goodness. Tava, what is reasoning again? You're saying, I know this because, and you are using the words from the word wall to explain why you think that happens. So, here, Tava, do you want me to reread mine? Because I know you always like to be very meticulous. Let me read you my reasoning one more time, and then I will show you the Velcro room. This happens because light is a form of energy that our eyes are able to perceive as color. When light travels from a source, such as the sun or a flashlight, it reflects off objects and travels into our eyes. Objects that are fully illuminated can be seen more easily because there is more light bouncing off the object and therefore more light energy traveling into our eyes. This is why you would want the lights to be on when you are doing something that requires you to see as much as possible, like cleaning or performing surgery, right? If you've ever seen surgery be performed on TV or in real life, the rooms are really, really bright so they do not mess up the surgery. When an object is in a shadow or is illuminated by a weaker light source like the moon, there is some but not as much light energy bouncing off of that object, which causes the color to appear muted. This is why you might not be able to tell the difference between two similar colors in a dimly lit room, or why the grass looks dark green at night even though it is really bright green. When there is absolutely no light hitting an object, there is no light bouncing off of that object, so it cannot be seen at all. This is why cave explorers need to come prepared with headlamps, because otherwise they would not be able to see anything deep underground where no visible light can reach. In conclusion, the amount of light energy bouncing off an object is directly related to the visibility of that object. You're welcome, Tava. And I don't know who's CKLA curriculum. I think 4th grade. You were learning about the different zones in the ocean. So if you want to make connections about different ocean zones and what we are learning about lights, that would be a great way to get yourself to a 4. Okay, so for those of you who don't know, I used to live in an entire Velcro apartment where all of the walls are Velcro. We have compromised with our new apartment. And now, hold on. We have compromised with our new apartment, and now there's a single Velcro room. I will show you the single Velcro room. Here we are. You can see that everything is Velcroed to the walls and labeled. Because I live with, we're going to call him meticulous, with a very meticulous person. Here are his cables. Here are his USB extensions. Here's all the extra Velcro. Here's more Velcro, and it's labeled ultra thin loop acrylic. Here is, I don't know what this is. What is this? Here's some dead batteries. Why are there so many batteries? Here, wait, let's keep going. See, you can see the entire walls are Velcro. Here, and there is the human that built all of the things. Do you want to show them? Do you want to show them your desk?
Sure. So we got my desk here. It's a stand-up, sit-down desk. You can adjust. It's got a tool shelf that can extend. That's made from an old keyboard tray.
He's very proud of the vertical shelf. It's a vertical Velcro shelf.
Let's see. I don't know.
There you go. You got all of your monitors. Look, tissues, convenient, and look at all of your tools that you would need. Yeah. And he builds lenses back here. And edits footage together, and I don't know. Why do we have so many remotes?
That's from the old apartment.
And then you can see, like, the ceiling also has Velcro. Things like some padding and different things that he uses to pack his camera gear up there.
Yeah, and it also works as sound protection when I'm not using it.
There you go. Multifunctional devices.
Yeah.
Rubber grips. I just love the labels. There. Clamps.
We need labels.
Tapes.
Forget what,
Of
goes in the
course.
century.
Tools. So, here, wait. I can't see your comments because I'm watching myself in real time, so I can make sure the video is good. But do you have your wallet?
Well, it doesn't have the strongest Velcro right now.
Oh, it doesn't. If you throw it, will it stick to the ceiling?
You could try. Let's see. You ready?
Would it be possible to have this class start early, or 1 p.m. is not a good time of the day? Potentially. Oh, wait.
There we go.
Did you do it? No, I wasn't doing it. Wait. Do it again.
No.
Do it on the ceiling.
Okay, all right. Here we go. Oh, that's okay. All right.
There we go. That was the Velcro room. Used to be our entire apartment. And then I decided, well, we mutually decided, that we would like a nice living room that we can have people over and not feel like it's a space station 100% of the time. All right, what time is it? All right, it's 1:58. I will stay on for 2 more minutes. You're welcome. I know, Blaze. He came up with it all himself. I think it's been like 10 years in the making. He has a shorter attention span for a grown-up, so it really helps him to stay that organized. Right? You don't have to paint your room. Just put Velcro all over it. It is funny. I've been living in a Velcro. I lived in a Velcro house for 4 years. And now it's been 3 months, and they have a place with just the Velcro room. Thanks, bud. All right, bye, Ashton. Oh, Shamel, I'm so sorry, Shamel. It says Ash at the end, so I'm thinking it's Ashton. What questions do you have, Matthew? The questions stopped, so I figured I could move on. So please let me know what questions you have. The lessons are also recorded. This is true, so you will be able to see it when it's done. And for anybody who wasn't here for the Velcro part, you can tell them that there was a crazy Velcro part and they can go back and watch it at the end. Do I have a stand-up desk too? Yes, see, it raises and lowers, see? See, I press this button, and then if I went to set, I can set. It goes really low. I can sit on the ground if I want to. Oh my gosh, it's still going. Yeah, there you go. And now I'm sitting. It is a standing sitting desk. Matthew, please ask it again. I apologize. There are obviously a lot of comments. That's also why it's important to keep commenting to a minimum so I can see everything. I answered your question. Would it be possible to have this class start earlier? Oh, sorry. 1 p.m. is not a good time of day? Maybe. I will send out an email to parents and ask them to email me back and say if 1 is good or if you want to start a little bit earlier. Okay, Matthew? But we obviously have to go with what works best for everyone and myself. All right. Great. Well, it is 2:01. So with that, I'm going to sign off and I will see you all tomorrow. Thank you for coming. Goodbye.